Forget knockouts of the year and submission of the night. It's all bizarre, unexpected, and the moments that made everyone spit out their popcorn and say, "Did I just see that?" From in-ring antics to out-of-this-world entrances and beer shoe fiascos, these moments redefine what it means to be a memorable spectacle in the sport. Can't wait for these. Number 1. Let's kick things off with the Ultimate Challenge MMA press conference. Alex Reed at a presser, getting all up in Jason Barrett's grill. Then, bam, he plants a kiss on him. It was like watching a rom-com plot twist in the middle of a cage fight. The crowd's reaction? Priceless. Part shock, part, "Did I just see that?" Reed turned the presser into a soap opera scene, and Barrett's stunned face said it all. It was an MMA moment more fit for a Valentine's Day special than a fight promo. Number 2. Next up, in a gruesome display, Dylan Reichman's leg unfortunately gave way while defending a takedown. This incident wasn't just a fight stopper, it was a stomach turner. Defending a takedown, his leg buckled in a way that made everyone cringe. The crowd's gasps were louder than usual. Brutal, heart-wrenching, and a stark reminder that MMA isn't for the faint of heart. It is the stuff of MMA nightmares. Number 3. After throwing down in the cage, what does one fighter do? Well, this fighter just turned the octagon into the coolest bar in town. Post-victory celebrations took an unconventional turn when a fighter, fresh from a fight, grabbed a cold one from a fan. It's like ending a marathon with a beer shower. Unconventional, but totally epic. Now, this wasn't just a post-fight ritual, it was a cheers to the raw, unscripted nature of the sport. As real as it gets. Number 4. The next moment takes us to David versus Goliath, which turned into a real-life King Kong flick. During a fight, Emmanuel Yarborough, a giant, literally pushed Keith Hackney out of the ring. It's almost a scene from WWE. All it was missing was someone shouting Royal Rumble. The crowd went wild, and who can blame them? A throwback to the Wild West days of MMA that left jaws dropped and eyes wide. Number 5. Moving on, we found John Jones and Anthony Johnson turning a presser into a comedy sketch. They squared up like they were about to throw down right there and then burst out laughing. It's similar to watching a tense movie scene suddenly turning into a blooper reel. Dana White's face? Well, the look on Dana's face was priceless. A mix of, "oh no," and "you gotta be kidding me." The prank is so good you'd think they'd planned it during a sleepover. Best prank ever. Number 6. Curious to know what happens when an MMA fighter faces off against a bodybuilder in a street brawl? It's like watching a chess master play checkers. In this moment, the fighter's skill and technique overpowered raw muscle. It was a live demo of why you don't bring biceps to a technique fight. A David versus Goliath tale, but David knows jiu-jitsu. This wasn't just a fight, it was a physics lesson. Skill and speed trump size any day. Number 7. During the UFC Fight Night 81 weigh-ins, a moment unfolded that was more sweet than sweat. Boston was all set for a face-off, the air thick with anticipation. And then, Sean O'Connell flipped the script by handing Alir Latifi a bunch of flowers. Yep, you heard that right, flowers at a weigh-in. This wasn't just a weigh-in, it was a lesson in how to win hearts before throwing punches. Talk about breaking the ice with style. Number 8. Right after knocking Glover Teixeira into next week, Alexander Gustafsson drops another bomb. A marriage proposal. From fierce fighter to Romeo in seconds, the octagon turned into a love nest, with Gustafsson swapping punches for a diamond ring. With the roaring crowd as their backdrop, he knelt down on one knee and poured his heart out, expressing his love and gratitude for her. This wasn't just a win, it was a heart melter. Forget the knockout, this proposal was the real showstopper. Number 9. What happens when Batman, Robin, and Spider-Man enter an MMA ring? No, it's not a joke, it actually happened. The fighters, dressed as our favorite heroes, threw down in a battle that was more Comic-Con than UFC. Who won? Well, it's hard to say. It could be a strategic victory for Batman and Robin, a display of Spider-Man's acrobatic dominance, or even an unexpected upset. It was a geek's dream come true, and a fight fan's "what am I watching" moment. Number 10. Next up, Paige Van Zandt and Michelle Waterson turned their way into Dancing with the Stars. Instead of mean mugs and stare downs, we got a dance battle. It appeared as if they were competing for a trophy in a dance hall, not a cage. This showdown had more rhythm than rage, proving these fighters have moves in and out of the octagon. It was a fun, unexpected twist to the usual tense face-off. Number 11. Let's talk about something a little bit surreal here. Zion Clark, the man with no legs, made his MMA debut, and he certainly did not disappoint. Clark shatters that stereotype with his agile, unorthodox style and unwavering spirit. He was like a human torpedo, proving that heart and skill weigh more than anything in MMA. It was like seeing a real-life superhero story unfold. Inspirational? Heck yeah, this guy redefined what it means to be a true fighter. Number 12. Conor McGregor goes overboard during a promo and knocks out the Miami Heat mascot. Just imagine the mascot all pumped up and then wham! Classic McGregor. No chill, just full-on action even when it's supposed to be scripted. McGregor threw a playful jab and dropped the innocent mascot like a sack of potatoes. It was hilarious, bizarre, and a little bit surreal, like watching a cartoon character get KO'd in real life. Number 13. Conor again losing his marbles and attacking Khabib's team on the bus. It was chaos, shattered glass, and a lot of what the hell is going on. McGregor turned a parking lot into a Hollywood set, except this was no movie. This wasn't fighting, it was an all-out assault on reality TV. Raw, unscripted, and totally off the rails. Classic Conor making headlines for all of the wrong reasons. Number 14. Oh man, Bob Sapp as a celestial warrior? That's a moment you won't soon forget. You're right, it's about as far from your typical MMA entrance as you can get. The lights dim, smoke fills the air, and then bam, out of the haze bursts Bob Sapp. Not in fighter's garb, but full-on angelic splendor. Decked out like he just fell from heaven, complete with wings and all. It was so over the top you couldn't help but laugh. Indeed, pure comedic gold. Now before we continue, a quick pause. If you are enjoying this wild ride through the oddest MMA moments, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more. Let's treat it like a punching bag. Now back to the action. Number 15. It's probably one of the oddest moments in MMA. Dennis Hallman fighting in a Speedo was like someone showing up to a black tie event in their underwear. Awkward, hilarious, and a bit cringe. Everyone from the crowd to the commentators didn't know whether to laugh or look away. It was a fashion disaster of epic proportions. In the middle of a fight, no less. It's like someone mistook the octagon for a pool party, completely missing the memo on fight attire. Number 16. This moment is more like watching a gymnast crash an MMA fight. Michelle Pereira went full acrobat, turning the cage into a circus ring. Two fighters locked into a heated battle, grappling and throwing punches. Then Pereira, seemingly out of nowhere, scrambles up the cage wall with the agility of a spider monkey. He twists himself, pauses for the dramatic beat, and then launches himself into a full-blown moonsault, aiming for his opponent sprawled out on the mat below. It was as if he forgot he was in a fight and thought he was auditioning for Cirque du Soleil. I mean, talk about some flashy moves. Number 17. The double knockout at Shamrock FC 285 was like a scene out of a Rocky movie. That is, if Rocky and Apollo knocked each other out at the same time. Both fighters swung for the fences, and then both hit the canvas like two trees chopped down simultaneously. The crowd went from roaring to a collective gasp. It was a 1 in a million shot. Number 18. Speaking of beer, this one's wild. A fighter drinks beer from a shoe, but wait, a fan adds hot sauce to it. Now, it is a uniquely Australian celebration, the shoey that is, a nod to the fighters' working class roots and a way to connect with the crowd. But then, adding hot sauce? Well, that's when things get truly wild. The fighter's face is just priceless, that expression that captures the essence of the moment of, hold on, this wasn't part of the plan. One of the oddest UFC moments ever. Number 19. This moment will make your stomach churn as much as your head. Travis the Brown Bomber Wolford took fighting dirty to a new level. Post-Chili Festival, he shockingly decorated the cage with an explosive display of chili beans during his fight. This unscheduled release turned the mat into a no-go zone, leaving fans and fighters with dropped jaws and queasy stomachs. It's a bout still remembered more for the mess than the moves. Number 20. Now, this is a head-scratcher, a pregnant fighter training. Is this a 2-for-1 deal? She's a pro, but still a bit out there. Now remember, in the world of MMA, expect the unexpected, from knockout punches to knockout weirdness. Got more weird moments? Drop them down in the comments below. Until next time.